what we're doing here. So anytime you put together a business, you want to look at, is it fundamentally sound? And I went through and I was like, let's look at this from the top to the bottom, and why do people want to be part of Save Club globally? What's pushing the growth right now, and what's going to propel this into 1 million members globally? And we have to first look at the market demand. And I've got individual slides to go a little bit deeper into this. But when you have a product that is savings, that literally translates to anybody spending money, and let's face it, money, it's like oxygen. You're not going to make it very far without it. So, do you want to breathe more? Do you want to have more in your life? Well, it starts with savings. So, there's no doubt that the market demand is there, but it's not just on the saving side, and it's on the earning side. Because remember, our slogan here is save more, earn more. So what is the size of the market for the home-based business industry? What is the size of the market for people needing a side hustle or to replace their job? The crazy thing that's happening in the world right now is AI is going to disrupt tens of millions of jobs just here in the United States. Everything from customer service to accounting, anything that the AI can do. And I'm not even talking about driving cars and robotics. I'm just talking about the AI stuff that will eliminate the desk jobs there. There's a major displacement on the horizon. And so, is there a market demand to have a secondary income or replace your income? Well, yeah, and we're not going to get disrupted because the word of mouth marketing never goes away. Like, as much as you can get faked out online with these fake videos and things that are going on, I'm seeing the different wars and different things. I can't tell if a video is real or fake. I don't know if cities are actually being bombed or if it's AI. I don't really know what's going on. But what will never go away is me talking to my brother, me talking to my mom, me talking to the people that I know, love, and care about something. And that's the power of network marketing. We have job stability forever because we're real people and we know people, and you get paid for those interactions. And 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 it's the community that will never go away. That can't be AI replaced. So the question next is, for the fundamentals of this business, is it scalable? Do we have something that is a big enough opportunity? Well, guys, global e-commerce shopping is $7 trillion. The industry of advertising is close to $1 trillion. We're playing in massive markets. So the total addressable market for what we have available is enormous. So, uh, do we have the technology to scale? Do we have the infrastructure to scale? Absolutely, we do. From how loaded our ability to take credit cards is, from our ability to take in crypto and process it around the world, it's absolutely there. Now, what also makes a strong fundamental is the timing, and we've been over this time and time again. The economy is definitely shifted in our favor as the world gets harder to live in. Things cost more, and we're more facing a recession. That's stronger. The opportunity becomes with Save Club. In addition to that, there's other things within the home-based business industry, within the network marketing industry, that really drive the timing in our favor. Speaking with a monster leader who's been in this space for over 25 years, and he was like, what else is there out there? Like, what other opportunities are available right now? What other opportunities meet these types of fundamentals? And there's really nothing else out there that checks off all these boxes. And then we look at what makes a fundamental business, what's strong fundamentals of a business, the profitability. Because we have the digital product, because we have the compensation plan, we can pay out up to 80.5%. We've got an extremely lucrative business. And now, is the business leveraged? Well, yeah, we're super leveraged. We're leveraged into global shopping, the $7 trillion e-commerce industry. We're leveraged into uh, this global marketplace where we can promote this business all around the world. And then you can create leverage with your own efforts. simply the network marketing side of this. As you bring this opportunity to people, as you bring the savings to people, it just scales out and you can get paid infinitely through this compensation plan. So another box checked. Now, there's opportunities that are out there, but people can't enter them because the barrier of entry is way too high. We've got a very accessible business. For $80, you can become an affiliate and have unlimited earnings. With $20 a month, you're fully qualified. And for those of you that went VIP, $300 a year. So there's not really another business that's as affordable with as much potential. And we're very deliberate about setting up the price points so that everybody could participate worldwide, and that when you look at this from a fundamental standpoint, that it should be a no-brainer to be able to operate a business for less than $300 for an entire year. Another strong part of fundamentals is the social proof. First of all, just the speed of our launch and how appealing this industry, if that doesn't tell you you're in the right place at the right time, I don't know what else to say. But the trends that are going on in the world right now, as far as savings, the trending of the way that the advertising industry has shifted to ethically bribing people with discounts, that took a long time to really come to momentum. For the top brands in the world to say, well, you know what, we're going to abandon television, radio, print, these other methods of marketing, and we're going to go towards giving customers cash back and rewards to get loyalty. That's a huge trend that we're in front of. So we're not only in front of it, we're in front of it with all the mechanisms to capture that shift of nearly $1 trillion. And then here's the thing. All of that's great. These first 7 topics of fundamentals, super important if you're going to find a business that you can really lock into and build towards big wealth. But if it's not aligned with your personal values, if the community that we're building doesn't jive with you, if savings as an idea doesn't align with your personal values, if there's some inherent thing about what we're doing that doesn't click for you, you're not going to succeed. And I think we've created a place that's very inclusive, that we've created an opportunity that has mass appeal. And we have, great diversity of people from all different walks of life, from different countries, from different age groups. You know, we're committed. I'm committed from a leadership standpoint to run a highly ethical business that's a win-win-win. And I don't see how that could be against anybody's personal values. And I'm going to highlight that a little bit more in some later slides. So the key is we've got the strong fundamentals, but does it solve a problem? That's the other big question. Do you think we solve some problems here? Because I'm going to highlight some problems of where we're going. So if you guys want to interact a bit, it would be super helpful. And just let me know. Just throw in there a 1 if in the chat box if these fundamentals make sense to you. And in fact, why don't you put between 1 and 8? I'll leave this slide up here for just a little bit here. Type of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of which one of these fundamentals actually motivates you the most. So yeah, 1 through 8, I see that for sure. Yeah, align with your personal values. We got a 3 over here. Timing's important, all of them. 3 and 4, profitability and leverage. You can't get away from this stuff. This is a good a survey right here. Yes. Okay, cool. All the above. So, when all of these fundamentals check the box for you personally, you found a business, you found a home that you can succeed with. And this one's like how I came up with these 8 things is I didn't just conjure them up. I know what makes a fundamental business, but I went into Chat GPT and I'm like, hey, give me the principles of a fundamental business. I went to a third party and just say, hey, show me what makes a fundamental business. I looked at this and I'm like, Save Club checks all these boxes. So we're in the right place. All right. We'll talk about solving problems. That's really where you get rewarded. When you find solutions in the marketplace that solve problems, then you get rewarded. So let's look at some of the problems that are going on globally. Um, Homelessness is a problem. I go back to Denver and I don't even recognize downtown Denver because it's been impacted heavily with a homeless population. If you just take a look at what's happening in California and LA and a lot of cities across the country, there's a homeless epidemic going. Yeah, there's a shortage of houses, there's issues. But did you know that with just an additional $500 a month, over 50% of the homeless problem, of the evictions, of the people having to leave their homes would go away? Now, do you think we've got an opportunity here to help people save some of that money so they have an extra $500 in the account? Or do you think that we've got an opportunity here where you could generate an extra $500 a month? So we're helping families. We're going to put things into position here where people need to have that extra money in their bank account. And it's like life and death, from having a roof over your head to not having a roof over your head. So to be able to create a path for someone to go from zero to an extra $500 a month, it could mean a lot for them. As much as keeping a roof over the head for your family. Now, I did some statistics. I was diving down deep here and just seeing what it costs to feed a family. A family of four, and this isn't like organic food. Okay, we got saving money, we've got earning money, and we've got living more. Okay, well, if you want a higher quality of life, sure, you could spend an extra $500 a month and get all the premium food that you want. You don't have to eat garbage. If you want to, take your dining from, low quality food to higher quality food, earn some extra money. But to feed a family of four, it's gotten pretty expensive. This isn't with organic food. This is just with affordable ingredients. Probably a lot of factory food here, but it's $1,000 a month. Well, do you think we've got an opportunity to help people save money in places and to create an extra $1,000 a month in income? So these are the things that, if you can identify as a business opportunity, saying, wow, an extra $1,000 a month takes the nutrition and the quality of the food for my family up a whole level, then let's do that. Let's create a path to get to $1,000 a month. I'm going to show you that here a little bit deeper in the training. Now, here's one: being overworked and underpaid. And you either got one of two things going on. Uh, Are you time poor because you're working all the time and you just don't have the time freedom? Or do you have the time, but you don't have the money? You've got more month than you've got money. And what we've got here is an opportunity for time freedom and money freedom, which equals lifestyle freedom. And this goes back to really owning your life. I got this graphic playing over here about traffic. One of the reasons I love having a home business is I don't have to deal with traffic. I've got control of my schedule. And for those of you that have succeeded in the home-based business space, it's like, how could you go back? How could you go back to running a rat race, doing a 9 to 5 and just being um, uh, stuck in having wages? Because we all know profits are better than wages, but you know, if you don't have the right opportunity, you can't make the profits. And we've got it going on right here. So another key thing to think about is, what is the number that gets you the time freedom and money freedom so you can take control of your life? And this goes back to what I was talking about with the freedom number. I've created some cool worksheets we're going to be launching inside of the training section that really help people understand what your monthly expenses are, how much are you spending on insurance and rent and um, your dentist, and just the essentials that you need, from gas to groceries. What is it costing you per month to exist and be in a state where you can thrive? And then how can we get this business opportunity $1 more in residual income than you have in residual bills? And again, we're getting to that training here. So let's go back to what we're talking about as far as a total. Oh, I got a spelling error up here. Got two A's. Let's go back into a total addressable market. Well, the cashback industry is one of the fastest growing spaces in advertising, for sure, one of the fastest growing segments. look at the growth that's going on here. So just from 2023 to 2029, this industry's about going to double in size. Well, year in and year out, it's going, and we're like in the growth curve of this, that just in this next year, and hopefully Save Club is a huge part of this number growing, because guess what? When people save, more money goes into the compensation plan, more money comes back into these pools, and it's very exciting. When you look at like the apps that people use for savings, like if you go into the Play Store, you go in the Google Store, and you look at the apps that are there that help people save money, there's 10 million plus downloads. I mean, this is a very big thing that's in demand, and people are seeking it out. We're going to be able to bring that to so many people. And I feel that with the tools that we have in place for sharing the apps, which, great news on the app coming out this month, loaded up with cashback, card linking, we're right on the cusp here. But as far as the total addressable market, 300 million plus people just in the United States, a lot of them have smartphones, and a lot of them do shopping and e-commerce every single day. And so we want to be part of that, and helping them save money so we can earn. Now, the home-based business industry is pretty big. These are pretty conservative numbers here, but close to $200 billion a year. And like I said earlier in the call, what are people supposed to be doing right now? Like the opportunities as far as a fundamentally sound business that people are really in a position to replace their job or replace their expenses with residual income. What's really out there, and I really feel that our business opportunity reaches the marketplace, and for people that are orphaned or homeless, as far as having a business opportunity that they can be proud of, that meets all those needs, they're few and far between. So Save Clubs, we're tapping on this demand here. I got another A back up here. Looks like I double tapped an A. But cashback spending is growing. Again, the United States got a huge market share of that, but that means the other half of the world is, diving into cashback, and we're reaching all those different networks. Uh, just through the app alone, like that the way that the technology has finally emerged onto the marketplace, it's going to be commonplace. And there's going to be two types of people out there: people that are helping combat inflation and combat the overpriced products that are out there with cashback apps, and people that aren't. And most people just don't know about it. They don't know that savings and cashback, especially how seamless it's going to be with the card linking, that it's something that is just going to be there. Um, Now, we're able to attract in so many great advertisers to Save Club. And, with our shopping portal, tens of thousands of advertisers are choosing to use Save Club to bring them the discounts. It's about loyalty. And we're able to not only create customers for these brands, but fanatical customers, because without the brands giving us deep discounts, we don't have an opportunity to make and earn income. The better the deals we get from the brands, the better our opportunity is. The more brands that bring us cash back and discounts, the better our opportunity is. Like, we're able to reach this $7 trillion of commerce out there. We get a huge portion of it because the brands are going to choose Save Club. So as far as the type of loyalty and the type of respect that we'll give the brands, we're a source for fanatical fans, because so many of the people that are going to choose Save Club for savings are also going to choose it for earnings. And that's part of the culture of what we're developing here, is that we want to reward the brands that bring us the best opportunity. So just kind of tuck that in the back of your mind, because creating a win-win situation, everybody has to win. And I'll get into that a little bit later here about the advertiser winning, us as affiliates winning, and everyone that's using our savings winning. Right here. Win, win, win. Multiple layered value chain. What I mean by that is we've got an opportunity as affiliates. The advertisers want to get us the best deals. They want to create the loyalty. The advertisers, they don't need to squander their advertising budgets on TV ads and Super Bowl ads and billboards and radio ads and other ways that they're squandering their advertising budget when they can bring their advertising budget to us in the forms of discounts and in the forms of us being able to reward our teams through the bonus pools uh, with redirecting these advertising dollars into sales. So the advertisers win in a big way because they don't have to gamble on where they put their advertising dollars. They'll pay higher amounts when we get sales. And that's the beauty of affiliate marketing. It's that trend that we're riding right now as far as the shift in the way that advertising dollars are spent. And none of this exists if we don't have customers that get real value. And I want to go back and let everybody know that my number one goal for Save Club is to have the very best free and paid memberships in the whole marketplace. And as you start to see the new deals and our shopping portal and our app coming out shortly, we're going to deliver on that promise of having a membership where you're spending $20 a month, you can save far more. And it just becomes a no-brainer because I know that when we get that right, it's very good now. When that is just completely self-evident and the customers are so satisfied with their Save Club membership that they'll stay forever. And that's what we want. We want to be able to build an organization, deliver a product that's a win-win-win. We've got an extremely healthy, multi-layered value chain and ecosystem that will pay us residual income for years and years and years and years to come. I want you guys to look back at your experience with Save Club and be so happy that you were here in the beginning, in the first 10,000 people in the company that built an organization that's just paying you towards hundreds of thousands of layers deep. Literally, when I run these numbers and I look at the market size of what's going on right here, it's not unrealistic that Save Club could have 2.5 million members just in the United States. And we're talking 10 million, 20 million app downloads and millions of affiliates here, and all of that commerce. Remember, we're fishing out of a pond that's $7 trillion in just the e-commerce portion. So we've got a huge market size here that we're going after. So just know that as we build this and the tools come on, and none of this is easy to do, by the way. So when we're working with the different advertisers, when we're putting all the layers of technology in place, they're built on a framework that has taken years, maybe over a decade of tracking, of reporting, of bringing back commissions, of tying in to the credit card systems, of tying into the card link systems, and being able to track all of that, bring it back into our commission plans, and pay it all out. None of that is easy to do, but I assure you that we've built a platform that's so solid that as we develop this, it will be something they'll pay you for years and years and years to come, but only if our product is a no-brainer. And that is, it's going to be the biggest no-brainer that people are participate in the card linking for free and have our membership just be part of what they do and shift their consumer behaviors, because the savings will lead into earnings and so on. So we've got a business that's fundamentally sound. We're scalable. We've got the technology in place. Our membership's going to be the biggest no-brainer. It'd be the easiest thing to share with people to get them involved and subscribed as a Save Club member. But how do we do that? And this is where our tools are coming into place. I've got an incredible video that David Dubbs created here I've got two that we're posting up today. It's really excited to share that with you here in a moment. But I made this slide here about playing baseball, and I'm going to run some numbers for you guys about how this works. And the first thing we got to do is pique somebody's interest. And we can do that with the stories like what you're learning about today. We could do that with, sharing a deal. We can do that about sharing a reel or a testimony. And what we're doing is we're piling up a mountain of evidence that shows people what we're doing here. If you want to show people travel deals, if you want to show people shopping deals, if you want to show people dining deals, if you want to help somebody save money with the cashback, you could share the app. There's so many ways to go from home plate to first base. And we've got a dozen new landing pages coming out with all the custom videos. We've shared a lot of the videos. Those will be now on replicated pages. June's going to be a huge month for us. Bringing all these developments out. Daily. As soon as I get off this call, that's what I go back to doing, is producing all this stuff, working with our corporate team to get you the tools so that you can go from home plate to first base. And it's about collecting a person's info on the spreadsheet. So you're collecting name, phone number, email address, and once somebody becomes a pre-enrollee, we're seeing 24.7% follow through for them to become a member or an affiliate. So 1 out of 4 people that take a look at Save Club and become a pre-enrollee upgrade. And those numbers are going to get better. And we've sustained those numbers to right around 10,000 people joining the company. So as these tools get better, we're going to have a very scientific approach about how to build this business. So we know that if you want to get your income to 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or $5,000 a month, it becomes just simple numbers. You get X amount of pre-enrollees, and a certain number of those pre-enrollees will become members and affiliates, and a certain number of those members and affiliates will go 1-star and go 2-star. And as we collect all that data, it's going to be very apparent to show somebody by just real numbers that if you expose this to this many people, you're going to get this many opt-ins, this many upgrades. Of those upgrades, those people are going to go to work. You're going to duplicate to these levels. As we're developing out all the technology, I've made sure that we have all the data points. We're watching them, and it's a little muddled now because we only have 40,000 pre-enrollees, 10,000 upgrades. Okay, but what happens when we have 100,000 upgrades and we've got data on how 1 million people interact as pre-enrollees? It becomes really clear the type of effort and the type of skills that you'll need, the things that you can do to be effective and have income producing activities, which I'll show you what those are here in the next slides. But once you get people enrolled as a pre-enrollee, and oh, by the way, guys, when we give away, as the new cashback app comes out, when you give away the app, people become a pre-enrollee. And when people share the app inside the app, like free members sharing free members, we've got an API that also gets them to be a pre-enrollee. So we're creating systems to where you get to share savings for free. People get to participate in the savings for free. And then it kicks on all of the follow-up systems, the emails, the text messaging, the voice calling that's coming through the AI. So again, just more tools. We're testing every single day the AI systems. We've broke it, I don't know, 5 times in a good way, because that's how we just get this thing totally bulletproof. But going from first base, going to second base, it's pretty simple. It's showing people, it's getting people back to the website, back to the tour, checking out the videos, onto a webinar like this morning, onto the Wednesday webinar, on the Friday webinar. And we're sharpening the pencil every single week at how to make these tools more efficient, how to make the message clearer so that we're saying the absolute most with the least amount of words. And this will all help our conversions to get people from home plate to first base, from first base to second base, from second base to third base. It's just a third exposure. It's them clicking on an email, coming back to the tour. It's them seeing a reel on your social media again. It's them hearing a testimony. So what we've noticed is that it takes between 5 and 8 exposures to Save Club before someone in their mind goes, "Oh, this is a good thing. I'm going to upgrade." And so let's just count up the exposures. The first exposure they get might be a reel that they see on social media. The second exposure might be the video that they watch on the landing page that they visit. The third exposure might be inside the web tour as they see other videos, they learn about the compensation plan. The fourth exposure might be an email that lets them know that other people have entered in after them, that there's momentum with the company. The fifth exposure might be them attending a webinar, and that's when we start to see upgrades. If you need a sixth exposure, it might be you calling them, might be you texting them, might be the AI calling them, might be the AI texting them. It might be them going to the YouTube channel, it might be them going to the Facebook group. They get another exposure, and as long as they're brought back to the tour where they're presented a way to join, then they'll get the upgrade. So we've got a system here that when you understand what we're doing and when you understand the income producing activities, you can just repeat these over and over again. And this business is not very hard, but it's going to take a level of consistency, of persistency, of enthusiasm to get people learning about Save Club and entering their name, phone number, and email address into a landing page. And we're gonna have a dozen landing pages. So now you can target, if someone's interested in travel, send them to travel, so on and so on. Oh, look, more spelling errors, guys. Well, thanks for pointing them out. I'll get them all cleaned up here. I was putting this together at like 5 in the morning. I wake up inspired and saying, what do our affiliates need to understand about where we're going so they can put more money in their bank account on Friday and next Friday and so on and so on. All right. Just like gravity, boop, just like gravity, there's laws out there. And we're playing off of two laws. We're playing off the law of numbers and the law of averages. And when those are played together, this happens. You do anything long enough with consistent effort, and a predictable ratio will emerge. Success is a numbers game. So from myself and the corporate team, we want to know, or we're putting together things to make this easier, more efficient, that you can follow a very predictable thing, and then you can plug in to the trainings, you can plug into the group and feel the enthusiasm, see and celebrate the success of others, and be part of a winning team, because everybody loves to be part of a winning team. Like when a sports team starts winning, the city starts paying attention. When the sports team enters the playoff, people get interested. When the sports team gets into the championships, people go put on a jersey because they want to be part of a winning team. Well, we're creating a winning culture here, and we're going to celebrate the wins every single week, and they're just going to continue to compound. And I want you to feel good about how the people that you introduce to the company win. I want you to feel good about when people are saving money on their dining, on their movie tickets, on their entertainment, on their shopping. These are little wins. And you don't need to get your dopamine hits from social media or some other thing. You can actually just be part of the winning team with the business, and it just feels good to be part of Save Club. That's the culture that I really would like to develop here, but I can't do it alone. It's going to require everybody to really just celebrate those little wins and share. Share. Be grateful that we've got these opportunities over and over and over, and it creates a compound effect where your feelings about the company, your feelings about our team, they're net positive. And again, it's just kind of something that we all have to do together. And I commend everybody for being here early, as not everything's in place. Well, the winning gets easier, the celebrating gets easier, and that compound effect of the discipline actions that we take building the business, equaling a reward, equaling a bigger check, equaling a higher rank for your teammates. all of that, feels really good. And I'm delighted every single Friday when we do commission runs and I see all the money going out. I'm like, all right, we got, we're people are winning in their bank account, and that's really what we're here for. Um, so income producing activities are getting people to opt in, and we're putting together so many different lead capture pages and tools so that you can get people to opt in. That is a solid income producing activity. So you're wondering, well, what do I do? Well, share the app, share the savings, share a landing page, text message out a link through WhatsApp, through Messenger, get people to opt in, and that is a income producing activity. And we're looking at like between 1 out of 4 and 1 out of 5 people who opt in upgrade to member, you get paid that whatever closes by Friday, you get paid next Friday. We know that immediately following webinars, that when you're able to get someone to opt in, you invite them to a webinar, and they see a webinar and they see other people here winning, they see other people saving, they hear the testimonials, it gets them to upgrade. And we're getting seamless tools, guys, so that you'll be able to send people back into the tour and get them to upgrade, and just making it just so frictionless so that as people choose to get a membership, they're in. Now, here's something that I'm just going to go on a quick tangent here. We are now in a subscription economy that when companies are valued, public companies, when companies are looked at as far as how valuable they are, companies that have subscriptions are multiples higher, sometimes 8 times higher as a multiple when they have a subscription model in place. Well, why is that? Because it generates that residual income. It generates passive income for the company. One of the hardest things for any company to do is to acquire a customer. Well, not every company can even participate in a subscription model. Like if you're selling TVs, well, great. You sell a physical TV. They buy one, people buy one TV every 5 years or something. But Netflix sells a membership, and every single month Netflix gets paid and paid and paid. And that's why Netflix is, making all these crazy movies and one of the most valuable companies out there, because they have that subscription model in place. Well, guess what? Every one of the Save Club affiliates, you've got a subscription model working in your favor to generate you passive residual income. So this model, one of the smartest business models that's worth the most value, is now yours for $300 a year. So I just want to kind of emphasize how smart of a business this is. One more thing that's not on the fundamentals, but it's like icing on the cake as far as a smart way for you to generate wealth for yourself. All right, back to income producing activities. Getting more exposures. We talked about playing baseball, and it's the accumulation of 5 to 8 exposures that get somebody to go, oh yeah, I want to upgrade in this. So influence is defined as getting someone to do what you're requesting, but have it be their idea. And that's why Coca-Cola is very influential. They got billboards out there, they got polar bears, they got, the red sign, they've got on the back of taxi cabs, they got on the side of cups, they got it promoted everywhere. And Coca-Cola is highly influential because subconsciously you see it all over the place, and then you arrive at, I want to drink a Coke. Why is that? Well, you see it over and over, the exposures. It's a lot more direct here with Save Club, but the exposures add on when those reels are out there and people see that there's savings on travel and dining and so on and so on. Those add up. And when people get the email and it's Save Club, or they see the webinar, that's the branding that gets people over the hump. And at some point they arrive at, oh, you know what? I do like savings. Oh, you know what? I don't like getting ripped off on the things I'm already buying anyway. Let me grab that membership, be part of it. By the way, inside of the app, we've developed all types of notifications. So when people are card linked and they're saving money, they don't even know about it, we send a push notification. Hey, you just saved. Or they refer the app to somebody and someone they referred saves. Hey, this person that you have shared it with is saving because of you. And there's some cool things. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with exactly how that works, but the technical teams, we've worked some wizardry here, and I say that technology is the new sorcery, and we're doing some wizard level stuff over here on how these are coming together and the type of passive levels of marketing and influence are just inherent in what we've built. So I'm delighted to share all that with you guys as we launch them here this month. Um, all right, I'm going to hammer on this one more time, just because repetition is the mother of good habits here. And let me admit these people. Okay, so let's conjure up a formula for success. And we know that opting in super important. Creating pre-enrollees is a direct ratio to how much income you're going to be earning. Uh, the follow-up that you do, if you know that if you've got pre-enrollees in the system, they're already getting an email. We're going to send them an email reminding them about the webinar. We have a registration process. If they register, that Zoom's going to send them another email, let them know what's going on. But if you actually just reach out with a phone call or a text message, and you just are able to share with them to join the webinar, that's an income producing activity. So getting a pre-enrollee is good, doing the follow-ups, the next thing, and then let the webinar, the presenters do your job of explaining what's going on. Getting people upgrading, obviously that's an income producing activity because they upgrade and you get paid. But here's an area that we're going to put a lot of focus on. So I've scripted out some new videos. We've put some new training into the training section in the back office. But getting people to rank advance from affiliate to 1-star is incredibly important because it's someone getting started and simply getting 2 people. And guys, we got 10,000 affiliates in the company. People came here to make money. And I want to show them that, every enrollment you get, it's worth $20. If you came in at an $80 package with just 4 enrollments, you're now break even and you're in position to make residual income and have that grow exponentially. So, a training where we show people that you can get in and with just 2 enrollments, you're 1-star. With 4 enrollments, you're in position for 2-star. Well, how does that work? If you want to go 1-star, that's 2 enrollments. Well, the way that we're averaging, it's between 8 and 10 pre-enrollees. So if you get started and you want to have a successful business, do you think you can get 10 people to check out what you're doing? You think you can call up, text message, or invite 10 people to put in their name, phone number, and email address into a form and take a look at what we're doing? That's the activity that you as affiliates should be helping your new people go with so that they can be trained and know what an income producing activity is, do it, and then we get that level of duplication to get this thing growing. And when those behaviors are just followed over and over again, we'll see the company go from 10,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 and so on and so on. And so um, getting to 1-stars of paramount importance, and it really should be a responsible sponsoring activity. You sponsor someone, you enroll someone into the company, work with them so they get 10 pre-enrollees in and have them earn a commission check. And that will change everything, because there's a difference between someone in here with the idea of making money and the difference between you've earned 1 enrollment $20. It's like that's the spark that will get things moving. And I want people to be addicted to making money here with Save Club, because it's really what we've got here, and with the conversion and it's like fishing in a stocked pond, because the tools are here, the offers converting, converting at 20 to 25%. It's unheard of. We should all just be kind of feasting on this time of how this is working. And I promise you, it's only going to get better as the tools are getting better, as our opt-in pages are getting better, as our presentations. It's just we're gonna get this pencil so sharp that I want to be at like 40 to 50% where you get someone to look at Save Club or you give them the app for free. And I'd like to see 40 to 50% of the people upgrading to member. And when we have that going, we will just hit numbers. We're going to produce income checks for people like nothing else out there. And this is when these fundamentals really will come into play. All right. Okay. Let's go to our next slide over here.
Getting amazing feedback, Charles. People are loving the new slides. Keep rocking, brother.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, I've really wanted to just get into the training aspects and the fundamentals of what we're doing here. And I feel like we're so early. We're only 16 days into the launch here that painting a picture, it's good. And I'm so glad that so many of you are have an entrepreneurial mindset because not everything is completely self-evident as we sit today, 16 days into the launch of the company. But 45 days in the launch of the company, and we have all the tools and the things in place, it just becomes so easy because I don't have to train it. We just do it. And you'll witness it. You'll witness people getting the app, becoming a pre-enrollee, joining the pieces, the follow-ups happening with the AI. Like it just gets easier as we go. But right now I want to paint the picture and probably it's probably a good thing that the core group of affiliates, of people that are listening to me speak right now, are understanding these fundamentals, so that when the tools, the automation, and the landing pages, and when it's out there, you understand why it's working, why we'll get the levels of duplication, and you'll start to see the exponential growth that really makes network marketing and makes multi-level marketing one of the most powerful ways for someone to have a business and produce residual income. When I was going through the fundamentals, I was thinking, like, what ways do people actually have to earn residual income, passive income? It's very few and far between, and the average person might never experience passive income or residual income. Most people will always be wage slaves and trade their time for money. And it's a shame that they didn't have the right opportunity. They couldn't connect with something where they could get some type of leverage. Well, we have it all here with Save Club, so it's kind of our duty to get it out there and rescue some people from the monotony of the rat race. If you want to help people. Okay, let's just go through the slide here from Visionary Thinking. Entrepreneurs see opportunities, other people see obstacles. Like right now, we're in the early phase of this business. The entrepreneurial minded people are like, what a great opportunity. We're here early. No one knows about this. Let's learn these fundamentals. Let's learn the product. Let's learn the industry that we're in. And then those are all opportunities. Other people might, look at this that are not entrepreneurial minded or don't have that, and they see it as an obstacle. Oh, this isn't done. That isn't done. Or there's spelling errors. Charles is a horrible speller. But whatever. I'm employing this next strategy here of relentless persistence, where there's a vision in place, and now it's just doing it until. And we know that we have super solid fundamentals. So now the only way to lose is not have relentless persistence. And that's just a fundamental that you'll see in every single successful entrepreneur. I don't care if it's from someone in construction or fishing or whatever. If you're a successful entrepreneur, you have persistence. Calculated risk. Look, guys, there's not much risk here with Save Club. What are you risking? Saving money? What do you maximum risk of $300 for the year to have a business opportunity? I mean, I live here in Las Vegas. I think some of the table minimums are more risk than what someone risks in this business. So it's pretty easy to calculate the risk. Now, here's the big risk: you're risking time, and I respect that so much that your time. We've been on this webinar for 53 minutes, and I applaud all of you for staying here. I want to make sure that we're efficient with your time, and that we get the tools and we get everything out that we've promised to get out from a corporate standpoint in the most efficient way. So just rest assured that we're working nonstop over here to make this the best opportunity. Um, yeah, look, guys, you've been on this webinar for 54 minutes now, and it's because you're learning. And I want to make sure that we keep this Monday training call with all killer, no filler. You know, people can watch this presentation again. We're recording it, but next week we're going to have more training. We're going to get in depth about why we're using a particular video or what is moving the needle for influencers. And then as we get more and more success, we're going to be bringing the top affiliates back to train on what they're doing day in and day out to get enrollments and produce bigger checks. Um, ownership mentality. If it's going to be, it's up to me. That's a saying I recommend all of you, put that in your minds. Having an extreme sense of ownership, having a aversion to entitlement, and just understanding that when you take full responsibility for where you're at with your business, where you're at with your income, is really up to you. Then you'll adopt a mindset that all successful entrepreneurs have. So being a champion of ownership, that's a assured way to win in the game of entrepreneurship. Um, Resilience is a good one, especially under pressure. And the more that you put yourself out there and speak to people when you're sharing Save Club, you're sharing coming to opt in, when you do that a few times, you build up your hey Pete, could you promote Dave to co-host? He's in there as David Dubs.
Absolutely.
Um, but having this uh resilience, it's like building up thick skin, like you got calluses on your hands. It's because you do it over and over again, and that's you focus in on these income producing activities, and you just do them over and over again until they become really easy. And then this business becomes simple, and you can really operate in a state of flow of just sharing the business. You don't even think twice about it. When people reject putting their name, phone number, and email address into a landing page, they're not rejecting you, they're just not ready to have those levels of freedom in their life. Don't take it personally, move on. And that's because you've got an unshakable belief in yourself and what's going on. So the more that you research, the deeper people look into what we're doing, and the more savvy people are, and they dive into what we're doing. I'm in these conversations a lot with bona fide experts, 7-8 figure earners. The deeper they look into what we're doing, the more that is revealed. They get it. And the more that you plug in and you see people succeeding, and you start to see what we're doing, like it's easy to show that since we started pre-launch to now, the company's produced a lot. Like the amount of content that has come out, the amount of progress, just the new systems and tools. We're not going to stop that. The best way to determine what somebody is going to do in the future is to see what they've done in their past. And we just want to keep delivering a track record of production that pushes the company forward. Because one of the most frustrating things that you can be in the field is be working with somebody where there's a glass ceiling and you don't see it. And I will assure you that the vision that we have on the corporate team, it's so high. It's 1 million members, which is a very realistic number. It's 10 million app downloads. And with those types of numbers, you guys can all reach massive financial goals. And we're not going to stop until it's there. And here's another thing, being adaptive, like seeing what the marketplace is and seeing it for what it really is, not how we want it to be. Like taking a look at where the best deals are, taking a look at what the landscape is for cashback, taking a look at what the social media apps are doing as far as conversion, and not for like looking at it and being like, oh, we thought it was going to work this way. We want to adapt and say, oh, that's not working. We shift. And being able to be super nimble and be able to pivot to what is working, that's what we're figuring out right now. And it's just like a barrage of feedback, and we're taking all that feedback and we're going to sharpen it so sharp, and we're going to get to this place where we have extreme efficiency and high conversion because we're very adaptable as a mindset from an entrepreneurial mindset with the corporate team. Um, and yeah, there'll be mistakes, guys. You've witnessed spelling errors inside this presentation, and there will be mistakes, but we're going to take action and just do it in a consistent way and just keep producing momentum. And when it works and it clicks, we focus on it. And we're going to do more of that, and it's going to perpetuate more and more success for everybody. And this is just something that's near and dear to me. Being service driven. So being the leader that others are looking for and inspiring others to do the same is something I live by, but doing it in a way that is just straight up heart centered and service driven, that's what it's about. And creating a business that is a win-win-win situation for everybody involved is the only way to make that happen and do it in a very scalable way. So for those of you that are here that are service driven, I appreciate that, and know that the heart of the company is in that same vein, that we're doing this to create opportunity and savings. We're putting together something here that can set people free. And when I started thinking about Save Club and was like, okay, savings, oh, is that going to be just hokey? Like, I want to do something that's like breakthrough, exciting new technology, this, that. But fundamentally, this is the best business. Fundamentally, this reaches the biggest market. And if we want to stay in a service-driven mentality, we've got the best product, saving people money. We want to stay in service. We've got something that can't really hurt anybody. We've got a $300 a year opportunity and unlimited income potential. From a standpoint of when the corporate team, when we're making decisions about what to do, we first think about, is this going to serve the most amount of people, and how we prioritize what gets done in what order. It's all focused on what's going to serve the most amount of people, from the customers, the affiliates, everybody involved. So guys, that's like an hour of just breaking this down. I think I'm out of slides. Yep, I'm out of slides, but I'll end it in this one here. And I just reiterate this. My commitment is to build the most valuable savings membership in the industry. Number one priority is to make the membership more valuable than it costs. And by doing that, we're going to be creating state-of-the-art tools and systems, another spelling error, to automate the enrolling and onboarding of new members and affiliates. So let's create an opportunity that serves the most amount of people. I'm going to get back to work over here, making us the number one product in the savings space. And I enjoy the feedback. So guys, share with your team about what's going on here. I'm going to get this recording posted for your affiliates that are on board. I think this might help them understand where we're at and train with them. With that, I'm going to stop the recording here so we don't have too long of a recording. Just repost.